What's going on? This is Magnus here, and I'm just going to do an unedited quick video for you guys, giving you my thoughts, raw thoughts on the Canon C50. Now, the Canon C50, if you don't already know, which I would imagine that you do know, is Canon's latest cinema camera that's here to compete with like Sony's FX3, for example. And it's something to really pay attention to because it adds features that are really interesting when it comes to picking up this type of camera. Now, some of the specs which you can look up online or anything like that is you can record 7K open gate, which is amazing. You don't have in-body image stabilization, but you have like a smaller camera body with a good fan that you could record 7K raw. You've got the ability to have additional mounting points on the camera. It really looks like a robust camera in itself. And 4K 120 you can do, 4K 60, you can do open gate 7K 60. You can do internal RAW, and of course it's got both of the operating systems from Canon. So you got the Cinema Camera operating system in this camera as well as the photos. So you can take photos up to 30 megapixels or a little bit over 30 megapixels, probably like 32 megapixels. So it's really decent camera, kind of dumbed down a little bit from, let's say, like an 8K camera because you don't need that much. You still got CF Express cards, you still got SD cards, so that's nice, and it's a usable when compared to the C80 that has two SD card slots. So I would attribute that to the fact that the 7K itself, that's too much data and too many megabits to retain quality that would be necessary to transfer over, especially in RAW. So having a CF Express card helps you transfer that and actually work with a lot of different recording types and bit rates. My personal opinion is, finally, Canon, you've got open gate. This is something that I love in cameras, and I was looking for and hoping for in a Canon camera. And now here we go, open gate, which is definitely necessary and something that a lot of video makers need for their content, because we're doing vertical content and horizontal content, and it would be nice to get both versions in one video. And this allows us to do that, the open gate recording. Plus, you can attach anamorphic lenses to this camera and then really get a cinematic look at very high quality. So those features I'm excited about. When it comes to IBIS, I'm not too concerned about IBIS, to be honest, because lenses can provide it, but even if your lens doesn't have it, it really is, it depends on what you're doing. I have a gimbal, so I can really balance out those shots, but not everybody has that. When it comes to filming, you really just have to kind of work with your taste. I have the R5 Mark II, which has 8 stops of image stabilization built in camera combined with the lens. However, sometimes the corners are way too wobbly, and I'm not a fan of that too much. I'll actually turn it off and then actually either use my gimbal or something else to make sure that I don't get those corner wobbles. So besides all of that, one of the other things that I do like is actually the price point. The price point itself, I think it's $3,900. I could be wrong. But that price point makes it competitive because if you just want video and great video, you can actually choose this camera as opposed to the R5 Mark II, which doesn't have a fan. You'd have to buy an extra grip to actually use the fan. This has a fan built internally, is less than the R5 Mark II, can give you close to 8K recording, 7K, and that difference is actually nominal, but you get the whole cinema camera interface, you get a good transfer rate, you get open gate. If it wasn't for the fact that I bought the R5 Mark II when it came out a little over a year ago, and I've got to do a 1 year review of that camera. If it wasn't for that, then I definitely would have actually picked this camera up instead, because it checks most of the boxes that I would want. And I would like to see a full review of it to see if the battery life is actually comparable to that of the R5 Mark II, because I don't need something that's like the R5C, which battery life, at least it didn't start with a good battery life. I know that firmware updates improved on it, but in the beginning, it wasn't that great. However, the C50 is interesting to me. I'm like tempted to get it, even at that price, but I'm going to wait for the reviews before I make that decision. And that's all I got to say. It's a great camera. The FX3 never interested me because it didn't have internal RAW, but this camera does have internal RAW and OpenK, which those are like the needs that I have for any camera that I'll consider purchasing in the future. And the C50 did it for me. C82, but C50 is, the price point is like very difficult to argue. And the fact that the body's as small as it is, what can I say? Let me know with your comments down below. And as always, you can make my day if you subscribe to today's Magnus. And I'm out. You're going to pick up this camera or interested? If so, let me know why. See you guys later.